Uptown TV. You understand?
Mad thing with people, what go on? Big up on yourself, you know. You know what time it is already. Yes, my people. So you don't know, Steppin razor style. Yeah, so stay tuned. You don't know what to do already. Like the video so it can go into the algorithm and it can make YouTube know that other people is interested in the video. Thank you very much. You understand? Steppin razor style, people. Mad thing. You understand?
I tell you. So you know, we're on Sunday again, you know, last night we were on Sunday, Marcus Garvey. And today we're going to on Marcus Garvey again. Because we see we are going at the society and so on. Right now, it kind of get away. Yeah, everybody have to admit, say, it get away, trust me. But we don't really want to carry down the people them in the dregs, in the mud today. More kind of music it out. You understand? Music it out means say, I'm going to play some music. I know you ordinary kind of everyday music. Music as it relates to the struggle with the whole of we now and in terms of the liberation of the people mind and the music where did really make Jamaica stand up proud in our earth. The music where people that listen to and find strength in them consciousness, in them mind to move forward. Because we see certain things take a turn very weird. The Americanization of our culture, the Americanization of where we eat, the Americanization of how we dress, how we think, it get Americanized. The music in the 70s and part of the 80s was lifting up the people them to a level where Jamaica was seen as a light and a hope. No, we always talk about South Africa and what the music has done for the South African liberation movement. Winnie Mandela tell me personally, I not talk about where she put in a paper, where she, I talk about me and her talk, and she tell me personally say she want to give thanks for I and I over here, so who did stand up with them in them struggle for freedom and liberation. I will go to Zimbabwe and somebody, the soldier them, the soldier them already in the field. We talk to them and them say, I true we don't know where the music from Jamaica do for help we, for go through. Now we don't know if we can say that now, because obviously the music take a turn. So today, we are going to kind of bring you to that music. Some of them did get big and popular. Some of them was popular in Jamaica. And some of them, the artists, them who do it, still about the place, still a tour, even though you don't hear the big alabaloo about them now get million likes on YouTube and Spotify and all them something there. But when them perform in front of the thousands of people at these festivals, them come like it's new music them are sing. Yeah, it come like a new music them are sing. So today, until what we call it, 5:45, and in between whatsoever else, we want to feature the music of the Jamaican artists who have put Jamaica upon the map of the world, that Jamaica can be identified as a saving grace for the souls of people who were searching for freedom and liberation. That is what it is all about. And that is in context with Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Marcus Mosiah Garvey is the center of these African liberation struggle, where he, more than anyone else in Jamaica, helped to fashion millions of people's mind and consciousness so as to make it worthwhile for them to keep on moving, keep on struggling. And right now we see the youth them and the forces that control the system is really playing havoc upon the minds of the people them. So as we move forward to Sunday, you know, here it has been spoken about on this radio. As we move forward to Sunday, we want to reflect. And we're going to give you a kind of reflection through the music that people who gone over a certain age can say, hey, you remember them tune, the Rasta? You remember them music there? Yes, the liberation music we are talking about, you know. We're not talking about just Ray and Lele. We are talking about liberation music. So, here we go. Turn up your radio. So the teacher them don't know nothing about this man here. The first national hero of Jamaica. Most ones in Jamaica who supposed to really educate themselves and is educated. Don't know nothing about Marcus Garvey. We're going to take the first break and come forward. Yes, that helps shape the consciousness of a whole heap of Jamaican and people abroad who did find themselves in an oppressive state and confused mind. You understand? It's very important that we understand how that dynamics filter into who we are today as a people. So here we go. Here we go. With goods and services and people. And him was trying to make it be a co-op thing where him get everybody involved. And him go to prison because them say him was collecting money through the mail. And them charge him for mail fraud. And send him go to prison for 5 years. And then deport him to Jamaica. Right on a Victoria Pier, they saw the boat land. And him come off. Marcus Garvey was presumptuous enough as a black man in a them time there for want to have ship, our ships, 3 ships for sail upon the seas them, controlled, run and owned by black people. That little man from St. Ann Bay, serious impression. We have to look good and hard with all the this and the that and all the things them black people about them control and all. Them never reach that level there where Marcus Garvey say equal rights and justice. And them say you have to dead for go heaven. Serious thing.
2 people have been taken to hospital following a mishap involving a plane at the Tinspen Aerodrome along Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz confirmed the incident, which occurred at 12:45 this afternoon. He said he was informed by the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority that the plane ran off the runway, overturned, and came to a halt in the verges. A 17-year-old Kingston boy has been charged in relation to a double murder in the parish on Sunday, July 28. The minor, whose name is being withheld, has been charged with 2 counts of murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. The charges stem from the murder of a 64-year-old Carlisle Lyons, otherwise called Jungle, and a 62-year-old Trevor Collins, otherwise called Cow Age. Police say at about 1:50 p.m., Lyons and Collins were at a bar when they were pounced upon by the teen. The boy allegedly opened gunfire, hitting both men, who were later pronounced dead at hospital. The teen was later arrested and charged. His court date is being finalized. In news further afield, Bermuda is bracing for the impacts of Hurricane Ernesto. This after it crossed Puerto Rico, leaving many homes and businesses without power. This morning, Puerto Rico's main power supplier, Luma Energy, said some 998,000 customers did not have access to electricity. Ernesto, which grew into a Category 1 hurricane on Wednesday, continues to threaten with gusts of up to 85 miles per hour. It's expected to make landfall in Bermuda tomorrow. Forecasters predict it could become a major hurricane in the next 48 hours. And finally, Sweden has recorded the first case of a more dangerous variant of Mpox outside the African continent. The person reportedly became infected during a stay in a section of Africa where there is a major outbreak of Mpox clade 1. The news comes hours after the World Health Organization declared the outbreak of Mpox in parts of Africa a public health emergency of international concern. At least 450 people died during an initial outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the disease has since spread to areas of Central and East Africa. Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, is transmitted through close contact, such as sex and skin-to-skin contact. Those were the local and international headlines. Major news is next at 5:45.
We are talking about the music that come out of Jamaica that help shape a generation of revolutionaries all over the world. Touch all the oppressed and the depressed people. We find ourselves in a level you know, where the music switch and gone over there. So. And when you look on the music, or when you hear the music and see the people them action, there's no difference between a lot of where going at Jamaica in a certain community and with the music project. And we know without a doubt, so you have people all over the world now wonder what the hell is going on in Jamaica, especially with the music. But we assure you, say, the music's still there. The music's still there, you know. It's just that people see it as oldies but goodies. Them call it oldies but goodies. And when you reach outside of the shores of Jamaica, you find some people now check their music as oldies but goodies. The Africanness in us. Music that reiterates that is very important that you understand no matter where you come from. We're going to go to the break, yes, they listen up. Top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick. And cash pot draws up next. Draws. We're upon the musical journey. Remind the people them that this Sunday is going to be explosive. Ochurious again. We just play a tune named African by Peter Tosh. One of the music them that reverberate all over the world. That black people have to take a stock and shake up themselves and know say, it no matter where you're born, if a cow born in a pig pen, it's still a cow. Cow not go move because it born in a pig, go because it born in a pig pen. And we are say, not because you're Jamaican, you're not African. Jamaica does your nationality. African are your race. You can't change your nationality. You can't change your race. And so it go. And this music help you to understand that. It's responsible for helping to shape how people say that herbs, yes, that vegetable matter. This man, more than any other artist, even though people that sing about it in a very cryptic way, over the years. This man, Peter Tosh, come out and show the people them say, watch out. We don't have no little code to liberate people, but to liberate the vegetable matter. Neither be. So why take a break and come forward. First you have Marcus Garvey birthday that was done and son. Julius Garvey will launch him book next week. And I am told that he's 91-year-old. 91. I am feeling good to know that I know 3 ones out of the Garvey family, 3 of them. Julius Garvey, Marcus Garvey Jr., who used to teach me, and Amy Jakes Garvey, the wife of Marcus Garvey, who put together the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey, the most important book for black people in this time, influenced a lot of world leaders all over the world. Yet still, you can hardly find it in most of the library them. Even though we have a brethren here who print it here. Philosophy and opinions. Amy Jakes Garvey compiled those speeches and philosophy of Marcus Garvey. And most ones in Jamaica still don't know a thing about Garvey. It's a shame. Shame. This society. That's why Marcus Garvey left here in disgust. Yes, Marcus Garvey left Jamaica in disgust. Because him can't believe him spend a whole heap of his life I bring to the attention of certain people. And then even at Jamaica, them lock him up. In a Spanish town prison, them lock him up. So, why you know that now, more than ever, we need those philosophies. We need them to the core. We're going to take a break and come forward. Marcus Garvey's son, Julius Garvey, will be launching his book. And we know how that go. Because really and truly, him have a lot of things to say, as I say, him past 90 and now. Understand? And the youth, them they are still, I go round and round and I come round and round and round. Just a view a video a while ago with 2 youth to show off them gun. And me I say, it's just terrible that them not see where I go on. And 100 odd youth. Yeah, a 100 odd people. Well, a 100 odd youth police shoot this year already, you know. Can you believe that 100 odd youth get killed by police? Not to mention them a kill themselves, the youth them. Not to mention them a kill other people. So it's really a terrible thing. That is why it's very important that we have some buffer for really maintain that sanity. And that is what we try to do. Every time we start talk over mic, that's what we try to do. So we have a brethren who is no stranger to Jamaica. He has been coming here and been invited here many, many, many times. Very known in the Muslim circles and very important in Trinidad. Mr. Mohammed, how are you doing, sir?
I am great, thank you, Brother Mutabaruka. It's a pleasure to be on with you again and greetings to all the listeners.
You should buy a house here, man.
I welcome that, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so another year and you're here. What is it that you're offering this year?
Well, I just heard you at the tail end of your discussion speaking about and the appropriate term is fratricide. brothers killing brothers, and you had some police extrajudicial killings here. So it's the same situation in Trinidad, and it seems like, I mean, this is by no means a deep analysis, but it's a brief thought that with the frustration on the part of the state to be able to handle the crime problem, it comes across as a collective aggression against the general population. 9 people were killed in Trinidad by the police in 2 separate incidents in the last week, which was highly unusual. And we tend to have this mentality that we can stop the crime situation by adding more features onto national security apparatus, whether it's equipment, whether it's more weapons, whether it's increasing employment of soldiers and police officers, or whether it's more technology. And I strongly believe that that is a myth, that you cannot solve the crime problem by exclusively looking at national security issues. You have to fix the social concerns of the masses of the people. You have to fix the education system. There has to be proper and better funding and support for sports. And in particular, there has to be an economic revolution. And Brother Mutabaruka, one thing that I feel very, very strongly about this time around, and I have been trying to gauge many people here in Jamaica, that as you would know, that right now there is a bank in the Caribbean, an African bank called the Afri-Exim Bank, that has declared itself as a pan-African, multinational financial institution.
Where's headquarters? Where's headquarters? Where's headquarters?
The headquarters, the regional headquarters are in Barbados, but it's based out of Egypt and Nigeria.
Okay.
But our concern is that this bank has been accepted and welcomed in every single English-speaking Caribbean territory except 2. Those 2 countries, the only 2 Caribbean nations where the governments have not welcomed the African bank are Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica. Now, this is a bank that is exclusively committed to the empowerment of African-owned businesses. It is a quibble-free institution that is lending out, giving out loans for Black business. And only the government of Trinidad and the government of Jamaica have said no. It's interesting to note as well that this bank has a pool of $1.5 billion US, and the minimum loans that they're giving are $5 million US.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Did these 2 countries give a reason why they say no? What is the reasons for saying no?
Right. So I'm not certain about the government of Jamaica's position. However, the government of Trinidad and Tobago have stated that the presence of the bank and the employment of workers with the bank would not be compatible with our tax codes, meaning that the employees of the bank would be required to work tax-free and not have taxes deducted from their salaries. So the government is claiming that this is not compatible with our tax system.
Yeah.
But we also know that that sounds like a very, very simple hurdle to get over, because governments have always since in the entire history of the independent Caribbean, governments have constantly made all types of adjustments, not just to tax codes, but even to constitutions to facilitate transnational and multinational corporations. That's a very common thing. But when we look deeper at these two countries, these are the two countries with the highest crime rates and arguably the largest gap between the rich and the poor. There's a group called the CPSO. It's the CARICOM Private Sector Organization, which consists of mainly Caribbean white businessmen from Trinidad, from Jamaica, from Barbados, and other places. And this group of white businessmen have been given CARICOM member associate status, meaning that they can sit in on some heads of government CARICOM meetings. And this group, the CPSO, has been linked directly with the Afri-Exim Bank in Barbados. So what's happening here to Trinidad and Jamaica is that a group of Caribbean white businessmen have access to the bank, while the entire population of Jamaica and Trinidad, the entire African business population, has been denied. Just to add a little arithmetic to it, Brother Mutabaruka, if we divide 1.5 billion US dollars, which is what the bank deposit is, with 5 million US dollars, which is the minimum loan that is being granted, you get 300. So right now we have approximately 300 new multi-million dollar new African startup businesses in 8 small Caribbean territories. So those were Grenada, Dominica, Antigua, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, even Bahamas and Guyana. 300 new multi-millionaire African businesses. The bank has also declared that if Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica simply sign the agreement, that they will double the pool to $3 billion, which will give us 600 new African businessmen. Yeah. And the bank has also stated in regards to the signing on, because I would imagine that Jamaica's reasoning is similar to Trinidad's reasoning on terms of why the bank hasn't been welcomed. But for some reason, it's more of a national conversation in Trinidad than it seems to be here. But the bank is saying you don't have to open a branch in Jamaica or Trinidad. You don't have to have an actual outlet. You don't have to even employ workers. All we have to do is sign an agreement. So right now, Black businessmen in Trinidad, and I would imagine in Jamaica as well, are seeking to form mini conglomerates with their brothers and sisters on the islands that have signed the agreement so that they can access the loan indirectly. But when we look at the bigger picture of this, it's almost like an economic onslaught. Yeah. And the desire to sustain Black poverty in exchange for white wealth.
You know, it would be very interesting to hear what the Minister of Finance is saying about this. Because the first I hear about it, and I don't hear nobody talking about it, or maybe I'm not listening, but it's very interesting that you're talking about this, that Jamaica and Trinidad, which are the biggest crime rate in the Caribbean, and have a Black bank from Egypt and Nigeria origin, is not really even telling us that this is possible. It's weird.
Well, you know something? Because the government of Trinidad did not volunteer any responses. They did not reply to the critique until it was raised in a post-cabinet press conference.
Okay.
And when it was, they had their answer ready. So it's possible that the government would not react to this concern unless they're pressed, unless they're forced. And I am of the belief now that they will eventually make the adjustment to welcome this bank, but it's telling too much of a part of a massive picture that has spelled deliberate impoverishment and underdevelopment of Black communities so that we can be a consistent, ready and available workforce and labor force for non-African owned businesses, which is the case with many of the white businesses across the region.
Yeah, I can ask you a question. I don't want to speculate, but
yeah,
I wonder if the agreements that is made by big banks, especially in America and England, I wonder if they see it as too near or coming too close to upsetting something. What do you think about that? You think there's something there?
But absolutely. Absolutely. It's clearly that. Because, interestingly, when this conversation was first rising up in Trinidad, the government did announce the signing of an American import-export bank. So the import-export bank is a specific kind of model that seeks the empowerment of its clients for the particular purpose of doing international trade. Now, remember, with CARICOM, since 1968, we established what was called CARIFTA, which is the Caribbean Free Trade Area. And then 5 years after that, when we signed the Treaty of Chaguaramas with Michael Manley, Dr. Eric Williams of Trinidad, Errol Barrow of Barbados, and Forbes Burnham of Guyana, the Caribbean Free Trade Agreement was what was brought forth. So CARICOM started off with a Caribbean Free Trade Agreement. And then in 2006, when we established the CSME, the CARICOM Single Markets and Economy, there was once again a continued expansion of this Caribbean free trade. But, and this is my biggest concern, with all the Caribbean free trade that there is, it's mainly free trade between white-owned businesses. So all of us as African people are remaining divided, disunited, separate, and fragmented. But they have removed trade barriers and restrictions and have had an open free trade area in the entire Caribbean region. But most of the businesses that are benefiting from this Caribbean free trade are white businesses that are prospering through Black exploitation. So meanwhile, it's so expensive for us to travel from Trinidad to Antigua, from Barbados to Jamaica, from St. Vincent to Guyana, and from Grenada to St. Lucia. So we as people are remaining separate, fragmented, and divided in our own individual zones, but white Caribbean business enterprises are forming conglomerates that are massively sweeping the market. So you have more big businesses opening up and expanding, and more small and medium-sized Black-owned businesses reducing. And I'm telling you, Mutabaruka, that when you look at the Caribbean and the crime rates, there's a direct parallel between the number of medium-sized businesses that are Black-owned. And the country with the lowest crime rates in the entire Caribbean is Grenada. And Grenada evidently has the largest number of Black-owned medium-sized businesses. A lot of the restaurants, a lot of the hotels, the small hotels, the medium-sized ones, they're owned by African people. In Trinidad and Jamaica, the more we open up these massive chains,
foreigners.
But it's what Kwame Ture would have referred to as domestic colonialism. because the local whites many times establish the franchise holding agreements with the multinational corporations.
You know what they
and
do?
it tends to be a new version.
You know what they do? They use the foreigners use a black face to make it look like, say, black people own it. But the black people, them is just servants for the foreigner. You know?
But there you go right there. There you go right there. And that is literally hitting the nail on the head. And it goes back to the same thing that the politicians do. And that is why my biggest critique of the trade union movement in Jamaica historically, but in particular in the Caribbean in general, is that they benefited from the consciousness of Garveyism, but never really gave the credit. Because if you go back to, for example, the birth, the origin of the trade union movement in Jamaica, it started off literally with Garvey-inspired movements. There was the Jamaica Permanent Development Convention, which took place in Jamaica in 1935, which was a Garveyite forum. Then you had, in 1936, the Jamaica Workers and Tradesmen Union was launched, which is based on pure Garveyism. And then in 1937, you had the great Robert E. Rumble, who formed the Poor Man's Improvement and Land Settlement Association in Jamaica. And all of this happened coinciding with the 100-year anniversary of emancipation.
Yeah.
But what they were focusing on was they don't just want better wages or better salaries or shorter working hours or better conditions. They wanted ownership, entrepreneurship. They want to be stakeholders.
Yeah, which is not taught in schools and universities.
We want the recipe for the pie.
Yeah.
And all of that was Garveyism until they started to transform into political parties. So even the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, which later became the JLP, they speak Garveyism to the people. And the people are attracted by the ideology of Garveyism. But when it comes to actually establishing the administrative structures of these organizations, it's largely based on betrayal, as the political system has betrayed African people in just about every single part of the Caribbean region.
And what they're doing now is pushing the service economy, where most of the black people them now find themselves in hotels serving, in those kind of jobs. And we're supposed to feel good that foreigners come, own the places, and we have to serve the tourists them, and then feel good because we have a little job that at least we have a little money every week. No ownership, the entrepreneurship is not in schools or in the university. Them teach you for be secretary and make you go on like say, because you can't go at work in a coat and tie every morning in a bank or so. It makes you feel like say you own something in the bank when you're just serving. The owner of the bank is not necessarily here, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's almost like a mental curse. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, when he did the Caribbean tour in 2012 to 2013, he made that commentary and observation that there seems to be a standard of achievement to work within the service industry while not being a shareholder nor entrepreneur in it.
No.
And we're given inducements such as being employee of the month, have a photograph in a lobby, be congratulated and given tokens and trinkets. of congratulations.
I tell
And
you.
that is actually seen as achievement.
Of course.
I mean, no disrespect to any employee of the month.
Yeah, but it makes you feel like you achieve, man. When you see your picture in a frame in the bank, you say, employee of the month. I tell you. I was supposed to satisfy with that.
Yeah, and at no point along the way does the educational system inspire the learner to become an owner, controller, entrepreneur,
Yes.
to even think about being in possession of real estate.
Of course.
Ownership of real estate to
Yes.
us is not even seen as a business. There are those who own real estate and literally don't lift a finger for the rest of their lives, but just watch money rolling in and numbers increasing on their bank account readouts.
Land is power, man.
But
Land.
For us, making money, and this is a legacy from enslavement, but making money for us is interpreted as a process where the physical body is always active and in motion. So unless I'm physically sweating and muscles becoming exhausted and heavy breathing and tiredness, unless that's happening, I won't be making money.
So
we don't have the concept of, no, I'm gonna let the bank with my deposits in it work for me. Just my simple networking and unity with my own people across the Caribbean region. That within itself, networking, opening skills banks, think tanks, pooling resources, all of that, those cultures being practiced effectively among us would lead to our prosperity. But we don't think on that level. We think on the level of the traditional education that is given to us, that initially was given to us for a purpose, which was to remain domination and control over us.
Well, you know that we really appreciate that you are here almost every year now. What was the radio program in Trinidad? You still have the radio program?
Yeah, we have the Black Agenda radio program in Trinidad. Of course, things are changing somewhat on terms of social media, but that handle, Black Agenda Project, any page on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or Instagram for Black Agenda Project, you'll find our content. And we just celebrated 6 years of the opening of the Kwame Ture Center. Again, simple Black economics. Through the 3-year economic blueprint of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we pooled our resources, came together, settled our differences, formed a skills bank and think tank, and started construction. We did not have a bank account with deposits that were gathering interest in order to do that. We raised money on the spot, day by day, brick by brick, through pure African unity, and constructed a 6,000 square foot building on 3/4 of an acre of land. We just had a visit from Kwame Ture's son, who lives in Africa. He was born in Guinea. He came to Trinidad with his whole family, and they were so proud to visit the center. But of all of the projects and programs that we have African Business Expos, we have public speaking workshops. I do my lectures there every Sunday. We have a wide range of different activities. But what is nearest to our heart at this point is our Boys Academy. Every Saturday morning, we provide free breakfast from 10 o'clock in the morning. And then from 10:30, we start with a series of life skills, motivational, African history sessions for boys 5 years old to 17 years old. And we believe that that is the best target audience for this kind of message. Because if we could put the right idea in their minds at this stage, You know, we're all reacting to gangs. And, you know, we got these little clips on social media of politicians talking about gangs. But Minister Farrakhan said, don't try to break up the gangs. No, that togetherness, that unity, that's what we need to try to give the gangs the right idea. And if we could get them to stop killing each other, stop disrespecting the black woman, to recognize that we are all part of a much bigger template that is designed in a way for us to self-destruct unless we're serving their interests. I mean, it's like simply awakening someone who has been in a slumber and believed that a dream was reality.
Yes.
And that wake-up message targeted to those youths, that's the future right there.
Okay, so Sunday, you want to tell you that what you're hearing now is just a little part of what will take place Sunday. And it's very important that you turn out for that aspect of the celebration. Don't come in a middle night when you hear say some artists are going to come on. The great house is where the education is. So we give thanks, Mr. Mohammed, we give thanks, you know, and we appreciate that you always heed the call to come to celebrate Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Yeah.
Give thanks.
But Brother Mutabaruka, I salute you once again for all the great work that you're doing and also the great archive that you have left with us. Your tracks, People's Court Part 1 and People's Court Part 2 remain major staples on the airwaves of the radio in Trinidad and Tobago. And we see that, especially People's Court Part 2.
Yes.
Right.
Religious.
Politician. Yeah. Right. Part 2 is really Part 1 is the politician. Yeah.
Yeah. Part 2 is the religion.
That stands as eternal wisdom for our people.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Yes. So we're there with you. As you hear the man, he will be there this Sunday. And I want to tell the people they must come early. I don't like, yeah. Okay. Time signal, the time is 6 minutes past 4 o'clock. That has been going on for years now about Marcus Garvey. It's a celebration centered around the works of Marcus Garvey. And if we start to treat it like, why I'm not going to see a show, you know, what class see a show start? 8, 9, all right, at the time I'm going to reach. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Because that's all we find out, say, anytime it reach a certain time, the place can't hold no more. That time all of the education and the celebration around Marcus Garvey gone. It's very important that you hear the offering of the speakers. Yeah, it's very important that we understand what it is all about, what is this celebration is all about. Okay, so we have another guest on this. Dr. Taylor, how you doing, man?
Not doing too bad in the motor. How about yourself?
We're all right, man. We're all right.
Give thanks.
All right, so you're a familiar voice for the station. Yeah, so give thanks for that. You will be there Sunday, right?
Yeah, man.
What is your offering on Sunday?
Yeah, so Sunday we just want to engage the audience as we talk about reigniting activism for human rights and self-reliance. So, Marcus, Garvey is, to us, the father of Pan-African consciousness. Is the ultimate anti-colonial fighter. And when we examine what's going on in Jamaica right now, our laws are littered by many colonial era legislation that is breeding a lot of corruption and cronyism in Jamaica. So we want to really kind of explore, many of these colonial era laws and show how Garvey stood up against these laws and require of us to develop our, self-confidence and our self-reliance in order to shake off, the vestiges of colonialism that still lingers in our society. So if we're really true to the teachings and philosophy of Garvey, then we need to adhere to these principles and we need to reignite the nation in an activism pathway right now to really push out these things, out of our system for us to realize our true potential. So we are going at that, Sunday with the ones,
All right, I know you, as we talk about the beach and the land and all them, give me a little update to what is going on with the Bob Marley beach there.
Well, so the Bob Marley beach, we know we're still in the courts. We're going to court September 11th is the next case. The case call up September 11th for us to really, present our arguments, to both the government and private developers as to why these tracks and roadways should still stay open for the public. And, it is a colonial era law, that we're fighting against. Which is the Beach Control Act of 1956, that we don't control the resources of the country. And in one of Garvey's speeches, Garvey talk about, that we should have control of resources, control of self, and control of nation. And we need to prepare ourselves to do that. And we are seeing that reason why we're being displaced from these places is because the people don't control the resources of the country. And government don't even have control of themselves, because outside influence come back now as investors, but they're actually neo-colonialists.
Yeah.
That is taking over the resources of the land.
And that we just talked about a while ago with the brethren that them have some black face up front, and it's really still white people from foreign own it, That
Absolutely.
is really about, yeah.
It's very clear. You must have seen now that right on the Ryabuna watershed, them start digging down already. That they're going putting up 800 houses on there to host 4,000 people. That is the resources of the nature of the nation now being transferred, to private development that only the wealthy can benefit from. And so we are kind of like in a era right now in Jamaica where if we don't really stand up, for the principles and the philosophy of Garvey, we're going to lose all of the resources of the country. And that is what the country is built upon. That's what sovereignty is built upon. That is what self-reliance is built upon, is ownership of resources. And we have to protect these resources. But we need to be prepared for that as a nation. We need to be prepared for it. And, the preparation is based in education. And so we need to push that very hard. So as Marcus really says, and I'll draw a quote right here, but Marcus said, every student of political science, every student of political economy, every student of economics know that the race can only be saved through solid industrial foundation, that the race can only be saved through political independence. You take away industry, you take from a race, you take away political freedom from a race, of a slave race. So we see all of these things happening in Jamaica. We're losing all these independence, because we don't control the resources of the land. If you don't control the resources of the land, then you're being dictated to as to what you can do and how you do what you do. So we really have to revisit core principles and teaching, from this, scholar from the eminence of Garvey, to reclaim our confidence and become reliant upon ourselves, to really kind of remove these vestiges and build the country on a new architecture of equality and justice. And that's how we kind of want to open up this reason that we want to we need to really revisit, activism because we're too quiet.
Yeah. So we are going in Kenya. Some serious thing are going in Kenya.
Yeah, man. Nigeria raised them voice. We see, our brown brothers and sisters, in Bangladesh, rising up, pushing out corrupt government, asking for just better, laws and more just society. And, we need to start asking for these things in Jamaica because, as I said, it's the core is that we don't control the resources.
Yeah.
We do not. We don't.
Okay.
And if we don't do that, then, how are we going to build this country? How are we going to build ourselves?
All right, Mr. Taylor, we're going to wait with Brett John to hear the eyes speak Sunday. Very important. Very important. All right, we have to move.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Yeah. I don't know, but when I talk, I hear about my voice. Kind of make me talk and I wait. I hear my voice, I talk back to me. You understand? I don't know if it can rectify, but we're going to take a break and come forward. Yeah, we're going to take a break and come forward. Speech by Marcus Garvey. And when we say a speech by Marcus Garvey, we are talking about the man himself giving the speech in New York in 1921. So for those of you who never hear, and this is not no actor now, this is Marcus Garvey himself attack. A whole heap of ones never hear Marcus Garvey voice yet. We have a whole heap of man repeat Marcus Garvey words, but it's not him. So we're going to play this for the people. We played last night, but we think we should have played it again. This is Marcus Garvey speaking. I think is in a Madison Square Garden in New York, 1921. Listen.
Fellow citizens of Africa, I greet you in the name of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League of the World. You may ask, what organization is that? It is for me to inform you that the Universal Negro Improvement Association is an organization that seeks to unite into one solid body the form here the cry of England for the Englishman, of France for the Frenchman, of Germany for the German, of waters in bringing together in one fold 4 million organized Negroes who are scattered in all for one common object, that of building a nation of his own on the great continent of Africa.
The buzz. The Gaza boss has also taken to social media to engage his fan base in selecting a name for the event, further fueling anticipation. Vybz Kartel earned his 8th top 10 entry and 12th overall entry on this week's Billboard Reggae album chart. First week out, a 12-track mixtape released on July 31, just hours after he was released from prison, debuted at number 8. The project, which was released by 21st Happy Lost Compilations, features the songs The Menace, Terror by Night, Unstoppable, Skillful Giant. Reggae table, he ranks 3rd for the Jamaicans with the most entries on the chart. Bob Marley and the Wailers, or Sean Paul, has 10 entries and 4 number 1 titles. 139 non-consecutive weeks, while Sean Paul improves from number 5 to number 2 with Dirty Classics Collection. Best of Shaggy the Bombastic Collection by Shaggy dips to number 3, while World on Fire, Set in Stone, and Wisdom by Stick Figure are number 4, number 5, and number 6 respectively. UB45 by the British reggae outfit UB40 inches up to number 7, while Burial Ground by Stick Figure remains at number 9. Courage to Glow, an album released in 2007 by Revolution, re-enters the chart at number 10. It peaked at
female names. Akos, A-K-O-S, Akos. Akos means born on Sunday. Born on Sunday. Araba, A-R-A-B-A. Araba means born on Tuesday. Born on Tuesday. Chipo, C-H-I-P-O, Chipo means gift. A gift. Ekuwa. Ekuwa. E-K-U-W-A. Ekuwa means born on Wednesday. So that's Akos, Akos, A-K-O-S, born on Sunday. Araba, A-R-A-B-A, born on Tuesday. Chipo, C-H-I-P-O, gift, and Ekuwa, E-K-U-W-A, Ekuwa means born on Wednesday. Male names, Mugabe, Mugabe, M-U-G-A-B-E, Mugabe means intelligent. Mugabe means intelligent. Musana, Musana, M-U-S-A-N-A, Musana means born during the daytime. Born during the daytime. Mwamba, Mwamba, M-W-A-M-B-A, Mwamba. Mwamba means strong. Strong. Minka, Minka, M-I-N-K-A-H. Minka means justice. So that's Mugabe, M-U-G-A-B-E. Mugabe means intelligent. Musana, Musana, M-U-S-A-N-A means born during the daytime. Mwamba, M-W-A-M-B-A means strong. And Minka, M-I-N-K-H, Minka means justice. African name. And playing some music that is relevant to Marcus Garvey and also the liberation movement that is still to be attained. We want to invite the people them to Ochurius on Sunday. And it will start from 6 o'clock. You know, 6 o'clock is when Andrea or Cabo, I say Andrea, Cabo, and yours truly will be sitting in and having conversations and good time. Yes. We want to play this tune. We made this tune in the 80s and we're going to 4 different countries. And a whole heap of people who is now member, well not now, but at the time, members of government in we call it Ghana, Gambia, South Africa, and Ivory Coast. Them tell me say that tune, you make them come back, make them go back to Africa. Yeah. The first album we do, check it. Them say that tune, you make them go back to Africa. Here we go. Really are going.
Yo, people, you know, say that is it. Steppin Razor Style, so just like, share, and subscribe. You know how it go. I let me give it up for Marcus Garvey. You know what I say? He's definitely supposed to be one of our national heroes. You know what I say? Yeah, people. So, big up on yourself, master. You don't know how the thing go already, yeah? One love, one prosperity. You understand? Catch you in the next one. Big up.
One thing I represent up to next time.